are back at Witten's Yard, and this week we're going to do a special focus on the renovation of the mobile home, which I showed to you in episode 1. Now, I'm right at the top of the lane, as you can see. I'm just going to show you the back wall here. And the reason I'm up at this end, you can see the mobile there in the background, and this is actually the wall that we had to knock down to get it into the space there behind. So as you can imagine, that was quite a job, and also quite a job getting it down this lane on the trailer. It's quite a narrow lane, as you can see, and my friend Nicole actually got pictures of the trailer turning on the main road there to get up this lane. So the whole traffic on the road was stopped for a good while he got in up this lane. Don't ask me how they managed to do it, but they did. We're going to go down the yard now, down the lane now, and into the gate, and I thought it might be interesting to take a little look at the mobile, which is behind me here. We saw this in episode 1, and I did say that I was going to show you inside and give you a bit of an overview of how we did the renovation. So luckily I have some old photographs from when we were doing the work here, so that I can show you how we did it. Let's go on inside, up the path here. Got the key ready, and there's a little greenhouse there that we built as well. As you can see, the wall is looking a bit dirty. I'm going to have to make that one of my jobs now for spring, to clean that up a little bit. Let's go in the space. Now, this is a little study space. So this is the very first space that you come into when you come in the door here, is into this area. And this used to be a very, very small bedroom. So, as you can imagine, it was tight, because look how narrow it is. They were basically bunk beds. I think they were along this wall, and the wall was kind of at an angle across to here, and we just basically ripped this wall down. We're going to go into the bedroom now. A small little space, cozy little space, lovely stone wall there out through the window, and a little patch of grass. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about these chairs in a minute. We're going to go down now. What I really wanted for this space was to give it lots of character, and how I decided to do that was with some strong colours and some lovely kind of old furniture. So you can see that beautiful coat stand there, which used to be in Ivy House, in my own house, and also this absolutely gorgeous desk. I've had this desk since about 2005, and I bought this, as you probably realised by now, I'm a big thrift store junkie. I love secondhand shops, charity shops, junk shops, and I love old furniture. So this desk was really a very special purchase. I actually got it in the Oxfam furniture shop in Dublin, which is on Francis Street. And when I was just really starting my writing journey, I bought this desk for myself, and it's just a really gorgeous old-fashioned desk. desk, like an old school desk. And there are the inkwells. I actually have the little ceramic inserts there, the little inkwells that go in there. Unfortunately, they got chipped, so I took them out for the time being to keep them safe. And then also we have this beautiful old wooden bookshelf with all the books for anyone staying here. I always think it's really nice when you're staying somewhere to have a selection of books to read, and there's a few that are specifically about writing as well, like this one by Pat Schneider, the 7 basic plots there, which is a good one for any writers to sort of help. And somewhere we have the Writers and Artists yearbook as well, but I don't see it there now. So in this small little space, we've got some lovely furniture. We're going to go now into, I'll show you the toilet. There's the toilet, just like a little cupboard almost. We put some nice wallpaper there. And there's a great picture of this toilet before, so in behind this wall, which you'll see how we built that. We knocked it down and built it back up again. And then into the shower room, if you like. There's the shower curtain there. Good old IKEA. Little vanity unit there. And again, strong colours. Strong pink there, I think, is just a bit of fun really in here. And that lovely mirror that I do believe I got in TK Maxx. We're moving into kitchen, dining and living room. And again, this was divided up. It was lots of different rooms, very, very small pokey rooms. So on this side here, this was yet another bedroom. We built this cupboard for this hot press, which is in there. There's a big water tank in, so I had a carpenter who was excellent, and he basically made these doors for me. He handmade all of these doors for me, and I just bought the glass from a company in Sligo and gave him the panes of glass to put into the doors. So he did a really good job on those, and there's great detail there on the woodwork. So he also built this, he did a bit of structural work in here as well. So he built this cupboard for the hot press, for the hot tank. And he also made this kitchen for me. Now it is very simple, basic, but I still think he did a very good job. He built all these kind of frames here and the shelves for the plates and cups and pots and pans. And I put that little curtain on there just to kind of keep it tidy looking. And he put this countertop on for me. He built this shelf for the microwave. And there's the other little corner there with the little fridge and the toaster there. So he also built this kind of little dividing wall. So you'll see from the photographs of the space as it was before that this is essentially, this was the wall, but it had a kind of nasty MDF covering it. So when we ripped the MDF off, we realised that there was actually a really lovely frame underneath that could just look nice as a kind of dividing wall. And this material here, that we've just painted it up, and we also have it down there under the sink. That I believe was the double bed. It was kind of the base of the double bed, and the mattress was sitting on top. So so that's good. And then this fabulous beam that we salvaged from the buyer, which is across the other side of the garden. if you remember in week 1 we had a quick look, we saw the side of it, and it used to be the milking barn, and there was a hayloft then upstairs. Sadly we had to take the roof off because it was dangerous and remove the sort of front wall, but the remnants of it are still there, the outside walls are still there, but this beam came out of it, so it was really nice to be able to salvage something from the building. And I think personally, I think it really adds a lot of character to this space. There in the background you can see a lovely orange sofa. So obviously I had to furnish the space as well, something I really enjoyed doing. Again, it was all about the colours, the patterns, and I think the colours work really well together. So this lovely wallpaper actually came from a cafe in Sligo. A friend of mine who runs the cafe gifted it to me. I was admiring the wallpaper that she had in the cafe, and she said, actually I have a little bit left if you want it, and it was perfect for this space because I didn't need very much, just for this little bit of wall here. So that was fantastic. I'm going to go down into the sitting room space. And so this sofa came from a friend. I bought it from a friend who has a B&B, and he was getting rid of it, and he said I could take it. And I got it upholstered in this really gorgeous bright orange, or sort of, it's kind of like a burnt orange, I guess, fabric. It's kind of like a velveteen fabric, and that was upholstered by a friend of mine, Paul Cuthbertson, who has a lovely antique shop in a place called Lack, which is near Omagh in Northern Ireland. And I hope that someday we can get up there and have a look around, because it's really lovely. He's got some gorgeous items of furniture. He's got lovely chairs, a lot of which he's reupholstered himself with beautiful fabrics. He's got gorgeous old lamps, like glass lamps and period furniture. So I think definitely we will take a trip up there soon to have a look around. And I actually have a couple of chairs that I'd like to bring to him for upholstering, so we can do that all in one go. So this was upholstered by him, and I think he did an excellent job on it. It's a sofa bed, so it opens up, it just unfolds like that, and I think it looks pretty nice. And I also have this gorgeous quite quirky lamp as well that I got from my friend Anthony, who he does house clearance, and so he has an amazing warehouse of second-hand furniture and all sorts of stuff, everything you could possibly imagine. So I've done really well over the years getting stuff from him. He always does me quite a good deal, and I just loved this. I thought this was a very quirky lamp, and that it would look nice in here. So, and there's the yellow on the other side of the dividing wall, which I think looks really nice. So the colours work quite well together. There's Klimt in the background, mother and child. So the space feels good. You'll see from the pictures what it was like before. It was quite a job, I'm not going to lie. It was a big undertaking. It took us the guts of 2 years really to do the full renovation from start to finish. And then we had quite a big job as well to landscape the garden. Then I mentioned the wall, so that's the wall over there that we knocked down. It was just a block wall, and it already was kind of crumbling because a tree root had unearthed it. So it worked out quite well, but we had to put a lot of gravel in to take the weight of the trailer. As you can imagine, it was a big truck that delivered the mobile. And then after we had the mobile in situ, we put it in lots of topsoil and grass seed so that the garden could grow. We're going to go outside briefly into the garden, but I'm not going to linger in there too long because it's a little bit messy. messy looking. And I think we've got quite a lot of jobs to do now in the spring and summer to get it back in shape. So one of the things which I mentioned as we were coming in is this back wall, which is the side of our neighbour's shed. And we painted it up when we were first doing up the whole space and doing up the mobile. But with the rain running off the roof there, kind of dirty, rusty rain, it has made the wall quite dirty again. So we've definitely got to do a bit of a paint job there, I think. We're going to come down the deck, and here, look at this lovely tree. The buds are out now on this. This is a red oak tree, and you can see the buds are coming out, and they're really beautiful red buds. And this is one of the borders that I have here. There's a red robin here, and there's I forget the name. If anyone wants to type the name in for me into the chat for this one. I like it though. I love the big green leaves, and I have a jasmine growing up the trellis there, which will look much nicer when it's flowering a bit later on in the spring. But as I mentioned about the wall, you can see the rusty water running down from a sort of bulging gutter. Eucalyptus tree there, and this is the wall now at the back of the mobile, which is a beautiful stone wall, and our neighbour's garden is in behind there. This is definitely another job that we have to do very soon, which is to move all of these stones and get rid of all those brambles. I did cut them back a few weeks ago to move all of that out and just mow this space down so that it's more like just an extra bit of lawn there. So those are jobs that we need to do in the spring. The greenhouse is just full of stuff, so I don't think we will have a look in there just yet. And here are some apple trees. That's a lovely apple tree there, which is getting quite tall. And lots of weeding required. Here's some rhubarb growing here, but lots of weeding required here. These are fruit bushes. Oh dear, it's all looking a bit sad. But on the other hand, look at this incredible viburnum. And the bees absolutely adore this. And the same with the ceanothus. There's the ceanothus, also massive. And when this is in flower, oh look, there's a little bit of a flower there. When this is in flower, again, the bees absolutely love this. Berries here for the birds, and this one. And we've a few new trees planted here with this twisty willow. I don't know if that's the technical name for it, but that's what I call it, twisty willow. And this is a newly planted a few months ago. This is a rowan tree. There's my little camellia bush up against the wall. Here's another beautiful wall. There's the wall to the lane. And in fact, this wall was a couple of foot lower than it is now, and when we were doing all the work here, a friend of ours who's an incredible stonemason, worked to raise the level of the wall by a couple of feet, and I think he did a really good job because it's quite seamless actually. You can just about make out where the new layer is. along like that. But he really did do an excellent job. All the stone, can you believe that all the stone that he used to raise the level of this wall, which, looking at the length of the wall, you can imagine how much stone that was. There's the length of the wall. All of that stone came from the ground here, was dug out of the ground. So as we cleared the land, we dug out all the stones. It was a phenomenal amount of stones, and we have them all piled up here, and he used them for the building of the wall. So that's a quick whistle-stop tour of the Haggard and the Mobile. There's the church in the background, and as the weeks go on now, in the next few weeks, we're going to start those jobs here in the garden to try and get the place looking a bit tidier. So we're going to paint that wall, we're going to clear the stones and the brambles from the back of the Haggard, with the back of the Mobile rather, and a few other jobs, especially in the flower beds and the borders, to try and tidy it up a little bit and get the lawn looking nice again for the summer.